everyone, I'm coming today with a video on my tips on how to tackle Black Friday shopping. You know, this is the biggest shopping days really of the year for couponers. It's one of the biggest times of the year that we could get huge money makers at one time because so many stores offer free products. So I'm going to give you a few tips that I go by. This is going to be my third Black Friday year, and so far I feel like I've kind of tackled it. My techniques seem to be working very, very well, so I just wanted to share it with you if this is your first time taking on Black Friday shopping. So number one, obviously I've done a video already on it, on what coupons you need to have for the money makers. So the first tip, have your coupons clipped and printed. Have them ready. You know, if you haven't printed those for the money maker deals yet, you're slacking. A lot of them have even run out of print, so they're no longer available. So if you want to take advantage of the money makers for this shopping trip, you need to get on that. Second, it's very, very important to have a plan when you go into the store. It's going to save you on your out-of-pocket expense, as well as it's going to save you anxiety. It's going to save you panic when you go in. You know, you're not going to be running around with like a chicken without your head. So have a plan and stay organized. I'll show you my techniques on how I do that in a minute. Another thing that's very, very helpful, the last two shopping trips that I've done on Black Friday have not even been in my hometown. I go out of town for Thanksgiving, and I generally do that in my family's hometown. So wherever they may be, whatever store that you're shopping at, know your store. I went in the day before just to see where all the products were, to get familiarized with the cashiers, talk to the cashiers, and let them know what I'll be doing, so that they know me when I go in and so that I don't have any problems. Another thing, you need to stay calm. The number one thing that you need to do is stay calm, stay focused. You know, it is all right to take a break, do one transaction, and get back in line and do another transaction. So that's one thing to stay focused on. You know, this is supposed to be fun. It's not, I mean, as hard work as it really is, it is meant to be fun. And I really enjoy my Black Friday trip. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you how I stay organized and what I do to plan my trips. Black Friday for the past 2 years, this has been my best friend. This is just a regular envelope. You could use any size you want. I prefer these ones because they're big enough to hold the printables. But this is my best friend, and I'm going to show you what I do. When I told you that I stay organized, this is what I am talking about. I take this with me every week when I do any kind of couponing. This is a regular spiral notebook. And I keep... I mean, obviously, I see the ads probably 2 weeks in advance. So if I see a deal that I'm going to take advantage of, I write it down. And I write the date as well. So that way, when I'm shopping, I have all the deals that I want to take advantage of. So I'm going to flip through Walgreens this week, which is going to be starting on the 24th. I wrote all the deals down that I'm going to be doing, as well as any coupons that I have to match with it. I also keep track of what... register rewards I have, or what balance rewards points I have. I also make sure that I view the ads so I know what the product looks like. If it has a certain size restriction, like the scope, I'll write it down, because a lot of times in my store, it's not marked, it's not tagged. I'll go in there early Sunday morning and half of the ad hasn't even been tagged. So always write my details in here, and this is what I have open with me whenever I do any shopping. So now, you guys remember in my last video, I showed you this pink accordion file that I keep all my coupons with and that I actually shop with. I have for Walgreens. This is what I do for Walgreens. Now, this is what I was talking about when I say that those envelopes are my best friends. For Walgreens, I plan all my transactions before I shop. That keeps my out-of-pocket low. Because obviously, when you get in store and you just throw things together, you're going to end up spending more out of pocket. You're not going to be able to think things through as far as adding it up and seeing what goes in order so that you don't have to pay. What can I roll? What can I put here that's going to keep my out-of-pocket low? Am I going to need a filler? The very, very most important thing, obviously, with Walgreens is the fillers, the coupon to item ratios. So, I always do this. When I plan my transactions, I write on one envelope what items I'm going to be buying and what coupons I'm going to be needing. Okay, I put all the coupons that I use, that I'm going to use for that transaction, so That way, when I get to the register and I pull out all my items and I put it up there, I already have what coupons. Even though I have, obviously, tons and tons of coupons, I don't have to flip through them and find which coupon. That just makes it go easier at the register. So, I put all the coupons that I'm going to be using for those specific items inside the envelope. I also write what my total is going to be. So that way when they hit total, I know that if it's higher than that, something's wrong. I also put any register rewards that I'm going to be using. So I put the total amount of register rewards as well as the breakdown. I'm going to be using 3 5s, a 2, and a 50-cent. So that way I know to hand over 5 register rewards. I also put the register rewards in there if I already have them. See, like these were from last week, so I already placed them in there. I'm going to be using all of those. So I'm ready. I also put on there my out-of-pocket. I'm only going to be spending 24 cents out of pocket for this transaction. And then I also put how many register rewards I'm going to be getting back. I'm going to get 5. So that way when they hand it back to me, I could do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If something's missing, I write the detailed on which ones I should be getting back. I should be getting a 2, a 450, a 5, a 10, and a 3. If something's missing, I could look quickly and see which one didn't ring up right. And then once that's done, I move on to the next. Then I have transaction 2. The same thing, what I'm going to be using. This time I'm going to be using my balance rewards. So I put that. Then my total out of pocket. So I know if something's not right, if that doesn't seem at least close to that, then I tell them, wait, stop. Let's take a look. Something's not adding up right. Then I put the same thing, what I'm going to be getting back and what I should have left over from my last transaction. So this is, I should be getting 5, and then I should have 5 from my last transaction. So at that point, I should have 10 register rewards, just to keep everything organized. While the cashier is handing me everything and I put it in the cart, before I put everything up there for the next transaction, I always take a quick 10 seconds. It's all it takes. It's not going to take too long for them just to wait for you to make sure you got all your register rewards. Then I move on to the third transaction. If it's too much for you to do one back to back to back to back, get out of line. Do one transaction, get out of line, get your thoughts together, get your coupons together, and get back in line. It's going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to save you some sanity. I've done that numerous times, especially if the line is getting long. I'll do 2 transactions, get out of line, get back in line, and get back in line. So that way I don't have to worry about angry customers behind me. It just makes things so much easier. And then the cashiers, they don't mind also. So do whatever you need to do. If it's going to take you longer ringing up, so be it. You know what I mean? You're there to make money. Put that money in your pocket no matter what it takes. Another thing that I do to make everything go smoothly on top of this, I will make a master list. When I'm going through my store, I will do one huge list of everything I'm going to be getting. So this is my master list. I know that when I go down the toothpaste aisle, I need to grab 4 Scope and I need to grab 4 Colgate Optic White. That way, when I get to the front, I don't have any issues like, oops, I forgot one item for transaction 3 or I forgot an item for transaction 2. I also put my fillers. If I'm going to need fillers, I write how many fillers I'm going to need. So once I get all of my items, that's when I'll head to the register, okay? I also put what I start with, how many register rewards, how much in balance rewards, and also what I'm going to end with. So this transaction that I'm planning, I'm only planning on doing four transactions this Sunday. And it's going to be a $21.22 moneymaker, but I'm only going to be paying $2.54 out of pocket. So it's going to make it so much easier for me to have it planned instead of doing all one thing at one time. Especially since there is limit 1 item per transaction as far as the register rewards deals go. Remember when it says buy, say for example, the Scope mouthwash. Buy 1 Scope mouthwash. It's going to be $3 and you get a $2 register. When you have those deals, it is limit 1 per transaction. So you gotta remember that. Also, you have to remember that you can't use the register reward you get for this item to pay for the same item. Another one will not print. So having things planned out knows that I'm not going to use the Tums register reward in transaction 1 for the Tums in the second one. As you can see, I used my register rewards from prior purchases here, but then I use my
share was that if you don't have that many registers to roll, or maybe you're starting off with none, I suggest starting with all the moneymaker deals. Do a small transaction and do moneymakers. So that way in your next transaction, you have more to work with. Then you're able to build your register rewards that way, or extra bucks, whatever it may be. And then go back to the items, or do the items that are going to be a little bit out of pocket last. That way you do your out of pocket cost up front.